Hey makers, I'm Charlotte with the Wood & Wick Co.
And I'm Jeff Stanley from Stanley Handcrafted.
Today we're going to be talking to you about how to choose the best candle wax. So there are tons of different candle waxes out there. It can be tricky to know which is the best one for you. In this video, Jeff and I are going to cover different types of candle wax, go over the pros and cons of each of them, as well as give you some qualities that you definitely want to look out for in your candle wax. We'll start by going through the most popular types of wax out there. So one of the most popular waxes on the market today is 100% soy. Jeff, can you tell us a little bit about the pros and cons of using 100% soy?
Probably one of the biggest pros for 100% soy is a lot of people know soy, so they instantly go to it. It's kind of a buzzword out there. It's kind of an easy sell if you have it in your candles. One of the cons is it's a little tricky to work with. 100% soy, depending on the wicks and everything that you do, you can still get kind of a light scented or light smelling candle. So soy can be a little tricky to work with.
Definitely if you're a beginner, soy can be one of those waxes that is hard to start out with. There are some issues that commonly happen with soy wax. One of them is sinkholes, which basically is what occurs when there are air pockets trapped under the surface of your wax. Doesn't look so pretty. So look out for those if you plan to try using 100% soy.
And soy can be a little bit of a frustrating wax in the beginning, and a lot of candle makers will think they're really doing something wrong when they're not, and it's more the wax and the wicks that they're choosing. So it's definitely not a wax that I recommend for beginners just because it can be so temperamental.
I totally agree. So let's move to maybe a more easy to use type wax. What are your thoughts on soy paraffin blends?
I really like the soy paraffin blends. It's definitely a lot easier. You still get a pro I forgot to mention with the soy is they're usually longer burning.
Yes.
But one of the pros for the paraffin blends, or the paraffin itself, is a stronger scent throw. So the blend of those two together, you get the strong scent throw and you get the longer burning from the soy that's added in there. And then you still have the soy tagline if you want to have it on your products.
Very true. Another benefit to soy paraffin blends is that, like Jeff said, you get a stronger hot throw and cold throw from those types of waxes, and that's what we find most people to be genuinely looking for out of a candle is that scent throw. Yeah,
I would say another one of the cons to, you mentioned the sinkholes with the soy, as you start adding paraffins, depending on the paraffin that you use, you can get a lot more shrinkage when the wax cools, or sinkholes. So as you start to move towards more paraffins, sinkholes are definitely something you want to pay attention to, as well as glass adhesion.
Totally agree. And if you guys do find yourself in a situation where you have a sinkhole, back to our original video, just kind of laying out what you need to make your candles, we introduced a heat gun. So a heat gun is going to be a great tool to help you if you get into this situation and you need to resolve some bad sinkholes. That heat gun's your best friend.
It will be a lifesaver.
Okay, so now another not as popular wax type, but definitely one that's out there that people use. What do you think about 100% beeswax?
Beeswax is another one that it's a little bit more of a niche market, definitely a smaller market. I'd say one of the biggest cons with it, again, is just getting a good scent throw from it. It's going to require a lot of testing, different oils, different wicks. It's a harder burning wax, so you definitely want to make sure that you get the right wick in that one. But again, it's got the beeswax tagline, which is an easy seller depending on the market that you're in also.
Yes, definitely. And you guys will also notice that beeswax is a really expensive wax compared to other types of wax out there. So beeswax is a natural renewable material, and it actually takes 60 pounds of honeycomb to make 1 pound of beeswax. So that'll just give you an idea of what it takes just to make one candle out of beeswax. It's a lot of raw materials.
Yeah, a lot of raw materials, and it's definitely one of those waxes where you want to pay attention, as we mentioned earlier in the videos, paying attention to your market and what sells in your area. Because if you have a beeswax candle, which, like Charlotte just said, it's in a more expensive wax, so you're going to want to charge a lot more for those candles. So you definitely need to be in an area where you can sell an expensive beeswax candle.
And have a customer who's going to appreciate that. Yes. Okay, so we've said some pros and cons here. We've gone back and forth. Now I'm going to introduce a few wax types that I really love, and Jeff is going to talk about them as well. So one of them is our Cocoa Apricot Cream Wax. This is sold through the Wood & Wick Co. The Cocoa Apricot Cream Wax is definitely one of my favorite waxes to work with. Firstly, just for the ease of use. It adheres nicely to your container. It's a single pour, which means you don't have to go over it with a heat gun or do anything extra to it after you've poured your candle. And also, I love the hot and cold throw. So it's a wax that is going to give you really a strong scent right out of the gate. And in addition, it has apricot wax in it, which is a really, really unique value add and point of difference for your candles. So, Jeff, I don't know about you, but I don't see many candle makers out there with a really unique wax type like this.
No, definitely not. And the apricot cream is definitely one that sets people aside.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so another wax type from the Wooden Winco is our virgin coconut soy. This is one that Jeff has worked hands-on with a bit now. So Jeff, tell us what you like about the virgin coconut soy.
Like Charlotte said, this is one that I have worked with. I actually like this one quite a bit. It gets more into the soy line, which is really nice, and adding the coconut cream in there also gives it a real nice hot throw. The look of it is really nice, white, creamy, smooth tops. The single pour is amazing. Yeah. And then, of course, just being able to get in there and cut it, it's not real messy, which is real nice.
Yes.
And yeah, just overall a very nice wax to work with.
So this is a finished candle showing the virgin coconut soy wax, if you guys are curious how it sets up. Nice creamy white smooth surface, looks just like a really quality wax. You can tell just looking at the candle, it's pretty obvious the difference between other types of wax. So great beginner waxes, either of these. If you guys are new to candle making, just starting out, these are really great, just a place to start, because you won't have to deal with a lot of issues that come with maybe more challenging wax types like soy and beeswax. If you guys do want to use beeswax, we have 100% natural beeswax cocoa cream, which is a blend of beeswax, coconut, soy, and palm. So 4 different waxes in there, although beeswax makes up the primary build of the wax. So it's a great natural option. It's a single pour like the others, which means you can make that beeswax claim, but you won't have to deal with all the headaches that come with 100% beeswax. So it's a good happy medium. And it's also 100% skin safe. So you can use it in massage candles as well if you have an interest in those.
And lotion bars as well?
Yep, lotion bars are great, and lotion bars are actually becoming really popular. So if you guys are looking to add on new products to your candle lines, lotion bars are a great addition to any collection. Any wax types that I missed, Jeff? Any that you think we should touch on? I mean, I know coconut wax is becoming more popular too. Are there any coconut waxes that you see some pros and cons with, or do you like working with coconut wax?
I do like adding the coconut wax inside those. It gives it a nice look. It helps with the glass adhesion a little bit. And depending on the wax that you are working with, it can help soften it up a little bit too. So you can, if you're working with like a harder paraffin or just a harder wax in general, the coconut cream softens it up a little bit. So you do get a little bit better glass adhesion.
Yes. So just with the pros and cons, we've touched on a lot of qualities that you might find in a wax type. So now Jeff and I will touch on what are the most optimal qualities that you're looking for in your wax type. So we can kind of volley back and forth here. I'll say my favorites, you say your favorites. So I would say scent throw would be the #1 quality that I would look for in a wax when I'm choosing my candle wax, because customers really expect to have a powerful scent from your candle.
Absolutely.
And you want it when they smell it when the candle's not burning, and you want it to fill the room when it's burning too. So good scent throw, both cold throw, which is what's referred to when the candle's not burning, and the hot throw, which is the term that's used when it is burning. Those would be my top qualities that I would look for in a candle wax. What
I would
else?
say the same thing. The hot throw is going to be #1 for me. Aside from that, it's going to be the look of the candle when it's finished. And again, having a candle wax that is a single pour, it looks nice. You really don't have to run a heat gun over it. That's definitely going to be #1. And especially like the coconut cream and the soy, I work with a lot of clear glass, so having good glass adhesion looks nice also. It's something you can tell customers, you can kind of talk them through it, and it's not a huge loss if it is there, but it just looks nicer when it has full glass adhesion.
I totally agree. So just the look of it covers a lot. There are a lot of issues that you can run into, like we mentioned, sinkholes, frosting, what else do we have? Sweating,
frosting,
wet spots.
Yeah.
There's all these funny terms that we use in the candle world. And if you're curious what each of them means, head to woodenwick.com, go to our blog. We actually have a terminology guideline to teach you guys a little bit more about some common terms. So when you hear Jeff and I talk about frosting, you know we're not baking anything. We're just making some candles. So great glass adhesion, good hot throw, good cold throw, nice creamy look.
Long burning is nice. Having the soy in there is really good. Long burning is just going to make your candle seem more valuable if somebody's picking that up.
I totally agree. So a lot of claims that people put on their candles, along with great scent throw, include the total burn time. So your burn time, you can determine by running your candle in 4-hour burn cycles and adding up the total time that your candle was able to be lit. So let's say if you have a large candle vessel like this, being able to advertise 40, 50, 60-hour burn time, depending on your wax, is a great value add. So that covers the rundown on the most popular types of candle wax out there, how to pick the best one and what you should be looking for. In our next video, we're going to be teaching you guys how to choose the right size wick. See you there.